Welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel. It has been a minute. I know. I am sorry for the lack of uploads and the lack of daily streams. I've been trying to improve my setup. It is getting there. I'm literally good internet away from being able to stream at this quality every day. Please do subscribe for those streams when they're coming back, and also for these videos, which I am planning on making every single day for you throughout this crazy transfer window. Look, we've got to start with Declan Rice. It's the biggest transfer saga for Arsenal probably this summer that hopefully is wrapped up in the next couple of weeks, but I'm not so sure it will be. We've been waiting for tomorrow, the Conference League final. We have been waiting for it like Christmas Day. It's been ridiculous. It's finally here tomorrow, so we can get that out of the way and hopefully get this Declan Rice signing done. I am concerned, however, that 4 days after tomorrow, Declan Rice will join up with England. He'll then be with England for the next 9 days and then presumably go on holiday. And I do worry that they will use those as excuses as to why we haven't yet signed him. But look, I want to talk about why, for me, Declan Rice is one of, if not the most important signing or potential signing in the last decade at Arsenal. First of all, he is crucial to Arteta's plans. He is Arteta's number one priority. We've heard that from everyone. We've not gone for anyone else so far this window because we've been so focused on getting Declan Rice done. And so that's why it's so important to get him done. Now, why is he so important? Well, for me, he's coming in as an 8. I think he is a Granit Xhaka replacement. I've heard quite a few people in the industry say that going forwards, Declan Rice in the attack is massively underutilised, both by David Moyes and by Gareth Southgate, because they operate with him as their most defensive midfielder. But I've seen lots of people basically say that he can be a really quality attacking threat. And I think that's what he will be. We've seen some of the goals he scored for West Ham this season, last season. He definitely has the ability. And that's where I see him operating. Now, other people say, no, he's going to be the 6. He will come in and replace Thomas Partey or be an upgrade on Thomas Partey or whatever, but that his qualities are defensive and that's what he'll be. The fact that that's a conversation is absolutely perfect, because it means that, truthfully, he's probably a world-class 8 and a world-class 6. And Arteta loves the versatility. And I do think that he'll come in, and sometimes he will play as the 6, if that's what we need. Sometimes he'll play as the 8, if that's what we need. It depends really on the system that we see from Arteta next season. Are we going to go with the same sort of system we saw in the last couple of games? Or are we going to see the system that we saw throughout this season? But that's a different video in itself. Either way, he is a world-class player, massively upgrades our team, Arteta's priority signing. We have to get him done for those reasons. On top of that, I worry that if we don't get this done, Arteta really starts worrying about what he's doing at Arsenal. Because if we don't start getting Arteta's number one targets, which we haven't really done so far, and we don't win trophies off the back of that, I just don't know what his incentive to stay would be. I don't think it's sustainable to continue. Yes, we have made it to the point where on the pitch we can compete for a title. Have we proven that we can do that off the pitch? Does Arteta believe that off the pitch, in the transfer market, we can compete with Man City? And if we don't get Declan Rice, and we don't get the targets that he's got this summer, I think he'll stop believing that we can do that. And I'd stop believing that we can do that, truthfully, because you can't always rely on the second option working as well as they have done for us so far. Yes, Trossard wasn't the first choice, but he did a fantastic job. Zinchenko wasn't the first choice, but he's done a fantastic job. Jesus wasn't the first choice, but he's done a fantastic job. That cannot survive forever. It simply can't. It will go wrong at some point. You have to give the manager their first choice targets, even if it means overpaying. If we have to pay 100 million for Declan Rice, then so be it. At some point, you have to start giving him the players that he needs, and this season has proven that it's worth that risk. I think it should have proven to the Cronkies it's worth the risk. We've proven that without his key signings, we can compete for a title. What can we do with his key signings? And so, for the sake of Arteta's future, because I genuinely do think if we don't get his key targets, and the first big one of those being Declan Rice, I could see him moving to Barcelona, or maybe a Man City after Pep Guardiola. That genuinely worries me. It's also a massive test for Edu. Edu is yet to prove that he can compete in the transfer market. We have made some fantastic signings, don't get me wrong, but he's yet to show that he can go toe-to-toe with United, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, maybe City, and beat them to a player. And the club is in a position now where we can't use that as an excuse. We can't say, well, we're not in the Champions League, so that's why we lost out on them. we have no excuses left. We're in a perfect position. We are playing some of the best football in the world. We're in the Champions League. We've got a young squad, an adaptive manager. All that's left really is the financial side of it. And so Edu has to prove himself. And the fourth thing that ties into all of that is that if we don't get Declan Rice, I don't think he goes to Bayern Munich. I think that's really an unrealistic move for him. So if we don't get Declan Rice, United, Chelsea or City do. So we're directly upgrading another team around us. Well, Chelsea aren't around us, but you know what I mean. We're directly upgrading a rival and we don't get the player. So it's just, in every sense possible, this is a crucial signing and I'm just desperate. I'm on my knees for it to be done. And really, it is important that we get it done early because we can't seem to turn our attention to anything else until it's done. We certainly can't turn our attention to potentially getting Moises Caicedo until this is done. And if Chelsea ramp up their interest in Caicedo early doors, we might not get the chance to even go for him by the time it's all done and dusted. So look, a bunch of reasons why Declan Rice is just super important. Let me know what you think. Would you take him for 100 million? Do you consider him a priority? Let me know in the comments. Other than that, please do, like I say, subscribe. I will be back daily for videos. And I just really appreciate the support that everyone has shown so far. Thank you and have a good evening.